Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a horror slasher film, Freddy vs. Jason. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins when Freddy, the Springwood slasher, flashes to the scene and tells his story. Freddy narrates that his child victims are the ones giving him power. Suddenly, a flashback appears as Freddy sharpens his blades and walks toward a little girl, threatening to hurt her. The little girl screams in fear as the scene transitions into Freddy's other memory, making a photo album of all of his child victims. The album also consists of headlines when Freddy was still active as the Springwood slasher. Freddy remembers the end of his ruthless reign when the parents of Springwood burn and kill him. However, Freddy narrates that he became much worse when the people of Springwood killed him. Freddy also says that he became a nightmare and his terror was far from over. Moreover, the lingering fears of the children at Springwood gave Freddy the power to invade their dreams. Freddy enjoyed his nightmare power for a while, until the people figured out a way to completely forget and erase him. Because of this, Freddy had to search the bowels of hell to make the people remember his terror. Luckily, he says that he found someone who will make Springwood people remember his presence. This reveals that he plans to resurrect Jason and use his body to regain his reputation. After the creepy narration, the scene transitions to a nearby river. During the night, a blonde girl goes for a swim in the river when she suddenly feels something behind her. Finding nothing, she proceeds to take off her clothes and continue swimming. Feeling something wrong, the blonde girl swims back to the dock for her safety. However, she runs for her life when she sees Jason, a masked man murderer, coming for her. While running in the forest, she trips into a branch and falls. As she surveys every direction of the area, Jason comes from behind and uses his sword to stab the blonde girl's blonde stomach. Appearing as Jason's mother, Freddy comes to the scene and he manipulates Jason to kill the teens of Springwood in order to propagate fear and get his reputation and power back. In the next scene, a teenager named Lori is having a sleepover with her girlfriends. Because of the heavy storm, the electricity in the house threatens to lose power at any moment. While the girls look for candles, Freddy flashes outside their house, planning to kill them. Joining the party, two of their male friends knock on the door and greet them. One of the male friends flirts with Lori, but he's being overly creepy. Lori dares the creepy guy to get some beer just to make him go away. A loud bang happens as the wind of the heavy storm slams the house's door. Meanwhile, after the smelly workout with his girlfriend, the other male friend chills his hormones in the bedroom as Jason suddenly appears right in front of him. Jason takes his blade and uses it to repeatedly stab the poor man until his soul leaves his body. Lori's lady friend notices the blood coming out from the bedroom. When she opens the door, the lady friend screams in fear as she sees her boyfriend all bloody and folded in half. The teenagers run outside the house and desperately seek help from the police. After inspecting the murder area, one of the policemen theorizes that Freddy is back, but his upperclassman dares him to never say the bloody name again. To prevent the memory of Freddy ever again, the police try their best not to incorporate the name in the murder case. However, this confused Lori because one of the policemen accidentally said Freddy's name and she was trying to remember it. After a while, she suddenly remembers the name Freddy. Lori leaves the room and sees drops of blood in the hallway. Following the drops, she finds a little girl crying and she tries to console her. However, as the child turns her face, Lori sees that the child's face is all bloody and her eyes are forcibly taken out. The child says the name of the murderer is Freddy and he's coming back to inflict terror all over again. Suddenly, the environment changes to a graveyard of the children victimized by Freddy. While looking at the kids, Freddy suddenly comes and surprises Lori. Not long after, Lori wakes up from a terrible nightmare. This reveals that Freddy gradually gains his power back as he can go into Lori's dream. The reason why he got his power back is that Lori and the other people of Springwood remembered his presence once again. In the next scene, another teenager is also having a nightmare. The drunkard friend of Jason's first victim promises to avenge his dead friend. While drinking outside of his house, he suddenly hears a noise. To check, he confronts it and sees where it's coming from. Suddenly, he sees Freddy in the middle of the road, laughing. In the dream world, Freddy notices that his powers are not strong enough to fully terrorize people in their dreams. Still, he's confident that he will fully get his powers back. Afterward, the drunkard guy wakes up from the terrible nightmare. Terror to terror, he finds his father's head decapitated. As he cannot believe what happened, Jason appears behind him. He takes his blade and slashes the drunkard. In the psychiatric hospital, the staff forces teenage patients to take a medicine called Hypnosil. Suddenly, breaking news is broadcast on television. Even though one of the patients, Lori's ex-boyfriend, short-named X-Boy, requests to increase the volume, the staff turns off the television without hesitation. This reveals that patients in the hospital were the victims of Freddy back then, and they are taking a medicine called Hypnosil to forget about Freddy and avoid dreaming about him again. Ex-boy knows that it was Laurie's house on the television. Desperate to check if his ex-girlfriend is okay, he wants to escape the hospital. At night, ex-boy's crazy friend goes outside their room and distracts the guard. To stop his crazy acts, the guards put a tranquilizer on him to make him calm down. The guard brings him back to the room, and ex-boy asks his friend why he did that. To reply, the crazy guy shows him the guard's ID and keys, which he stole earlier. Not long after, the dude sneaks out of the hospital to return to Springwood. In the next scene, Laurie also learns about the drunkard guy's death and his father. Laurie confides to her friends that she has been having terrible nightmares lately, and a monster named Freddy keeps popping up in her dreams. While she cries, she describes Freddy wearing a hat and his skin burnt. Suddenly, the crazy guy comes to the scene and talks about Freddy. He says that Freddy is a child murderer and is coming back. Suddenly, ex-boy appears and stops the commotion. After seeing her ex-boyfriend, Laurie passes out and the staff brings her to the clinic. In the next scene, one of Laurie's friends is reading a book when Jason appears and uses his blades to pierce her smelly nose. Not long after, she wakes up from the nightmare. This reveals that Freddy is gaining power and can terrorize more people's dreams, and the girl is his recent victim. Meanwhile, ex-boy and his crazy friend research more about Freddy. However, they find that Freddy's name is all blacked out in every document they see. The crazy guy theorizes that people erase Freddy in every document and memory to defeat him, and the reason why they are locked up is to prevent the memory of Freddy from being spread again. On the other side, the teenagers are having a party. The dork guy approaches Laurie to flirt the hormones out of her, but Laurie's friend comes and drives his dorky hormones away. Ex-boy and Laurie reunite, and he explains everything that happened to him. In the tall grass, Laurie's lady friend is having hallucinations. Afterward, Freddy haunts her in her nightmare. She is revealed to be the latest victim of Freddy. In the dream world, she hides from Freddy, but is unable when Freddy finds her and attempts to kill her. However, in the real world, Jason comes into the tall grass and kills the lady friend and the creepy guy taking advantage of her body. Because of this, her body in the dream world disintegrates, and Freddy is angry about it. Freddy says that Jason stole his victim. To continue his rampage, Jason finds his next victims. Not long after, he finds two teenagers lingering in the tall grass. He kills one of them by breaking his neck and turning his head. The remaining man tries to fight by burning Jason. However, it is not very effective, as Jason throws his sword to stab the fat guy. Seeing the tragedy, the rest of the teenagers scream in fear as they see Jason approaching them. The other men that try to fight back are slashed to death without mercy. In the next scene, ex-boy explains the truth. He says that he was sent to the hospital because he saw Laurie's father kill his own wife. Suddenly, the father enters the scene and dares Laurie to escape the van. Trying to defend Laurie from her father, ex-boy tries to stop the father from getting Laurie. However, the father overpowers him and chokes his neck. Slowly going crazy, Laurie screams and runs away to the house. Now skeptical about her father, Laurie wants evidence that her mother died in a car accident. However, her father says it is not the right time to discuss it. He also confides that he works in the hospital and has known about ex-boy ever since. Angry about her father's lies, Laurie goes to her room and escapes through the window. Luckily, ex-boy finds her and gets her to safety. In the next scene, the crazy guy looks at the old photograph of his family. Looking at the mirror, Freddy suddenly appears, making him scared. He also sees Freddy in the bathtub, pretending to be his dead brother. This reveals that the crazy guy is dreaming, and Freddy terrorizes him. He screams and asks for someone to wake him up to save himself. Freddy says to the crazy guy that he wants his message to be relayed, but the crazy guy refuses. Because of it, Freddy uses his powers, burns the crazy guy, and puts the message on his back. After killing him, the words "Freddy is back" are seen on the crazy guy's bloody body. In the next scene, the newcomer policeman is confused about the happenings. Although he wants to know about Freddy, his upperclassman refuses to give any information. Afterward, he goes to the teenager's hideout and offers to help. He also says that Jason might be a copycat killer. However, ex-boy theorizes that Freddy used his power to bring Jason back in order to inflict fear again in Springwood. Laurie also realizes that Freddy died of fire and Jason died of water. Suddenly, Laurie goes into another nightmare. Before Freddy has a chance to attack her fully, the group luckily wakes her up. Interestingly, when she manages to pull something from it, Laurie learns that they could pull something from the dream world to the real world. Ex-boy also realizes that the medicine called Hypnosil is the drug that prevented them from having nightmares before. To get supplies, the group infiltrates the hospital to steal the anti-nightmare drugs. But Freddy double-crosses a guy's mind during his nightmare and uses the guy's body to dump all the anti-nightmare drugs into the sink. Suddenly, Jason comes from behind and lifts the policeman as he electrocutes him to death. Hearing about the screams, the remaining group goes to help. Unfortunately, the group sees that the drug bottles are now all empty. The group screams in agony when Jason appears and dumps a dead body right in front of them. While the group runs for their lives, the guy is still possessed by Freddy. To fight Jason, Freddy takes tranquilizers and injects them into Jason. However, because of the strength of Jason, he still manages to cut the guy's body in half. Still, the tranquilizers work, and Jason is put to sleep not long after. While asleep, Jason is being attacked by Freddy in his dreams. While pretending to be Jason's mother, Freddy blames Jason for killing too much and stealing all his victims. In the dream world, Freddy and Jason start fighting each other. As soon as Freddy jumps on Jason, Jason takes his blade and uses it to cut both arms of Freddy. However, Freddy uses his power to regenerate his arms back. To get revenge, he hits Jason multiple times and hits him in the stomach, making him fly backward. Moreover, Freddy uses his power to control Jason and pierce the sword into his stomach. Although able to fight back, Jason is overpowered in the dream world. To finish him off, Freddy uses his power to lift a massive container, drop it, and flatten Jason's body. Still, Jason remains alive and fights back. However, as water starts pouring into the dream world, Jason cannot attack anymore. This reveals that Jason's weakness is water, because it was the thing that killed him before. Jason is stunned as he's surrounded by so much water. In the real world, the group carries Jason and they plan to pull Freddy from the dream world and force him to fight Jason outside his comfort zone. Meanwhile, Freddy continues to torture Jason in the dream world as he continues to scare him with water. On the other side, the teenagers plan to make Lori sleep so she can drag Freddy into the real world. As Lori is put to sleep, she immediately has a nightmare. In the nightmare, it shows the memory of when Jason drowned to death back in 1957. Meanwhile, Jason suddenly awakens in the real world. Moreover, Lori dreams about her father killing her mother. She screams and asks the others to wake her up, but to no avail. It's also revealed that Lori's father was possessed by Freddy when he killed his wife. While the group tries their best to wake Lori, Jason is now lingering outside the cottage. Lori then starts bleeding as Freddy attacks her in the dream world. Suddenly, Jason kicks the door open and accidentally starts a fire. Moreover, the group tries to fight back, but Jason is just too powerful for them. Meanwhile, while ex-boy is dragging Lori's body, her hand touches the fire, and she uses it to pull Freddy to the real world. Freddy is afraid as he sees fire all over him. This reveals that Freddy is afraid of fire because the cause of his death was burning. Freddy and Jason are now in a decisive battle. While fighting, the dork guy dies of injury. Similarly, Lori's friend tries distracting Freddy, but she dies when Jason appears suddenly and slashes her greasy body into 2 pieces of soap. Freddy starts winning by using the construction site tools to his advantage. Going to the dock, Freddy manages to cut Jason's fingers, which allows him to take the opponent's blade. On the other hand, angered by the real death of her mother, Lori diverts Freddy's attention as she burns the dock. Freddy is stunned when he sees fire all over him. As a reaction, Jason strikes his hand through Freddy's body. In retaliation, Freddy thrusts the blade into Jason's side, which causes Jason to rip Freddy's gloved arm off. After an intense battle, Freddy and Jason are thrown into the lake when Lori and ex-boy light the dock on fire, causing multiple propane tanks to explode. However, Freddy rises and approaches Lori and ex-boy on the dock and attempts to kill them using Jason's blade. But suddenly, Jason impales Freddy with his clawed arm, allowing Lori to behead Freddy with the blade. Freddy's head and body, both appearing dead, plunge into the lake as Jason falls over the dock. Lori and ex-boy depart after dropping the blade where Jason drowned. In the aftermath, Jason emerges from the sea, carrying Freddy's severed head. The winner of the fight remains unknown, as Freddy winks while laughing in the background. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.